At school, they put us in separate classes. Tati adjusted easily. She made friends with a classmate and even visited her at home. There's a photo of them together in which the English friend is holding a kitten. Andra, on the other hand, had more problems adjusting. In the entrance hall, there were lockers. The children were supposed to leave their things there and then go to the classroom. Instead, Andra, when she arrived, stopped and sat on a bench in the hall, waiting for the teacher to come and get her. The teacher became interested in her case. She asked Alice Goldberger for permission to take her home for a weekend. She had a nice 2-story house where she lived with her husband. They welcomed Andra like a daughter, gave her a bath, drying her, cuddling her as they sat in front of the fire. They helped her overcome her fear of strangers. From then on, Andra went to class without any trouble, like everyone else. She needed to feel warmth around her. Her difficulties, her fears, are recounted in the letters we eventually sent from Lingfield when our parents managed to track us down in England. Some years ago, we returned to see our English home. After having been abandoned, it was bought by a wealthy man who, when he found out the secret that the building guarded, decided to restore it to the way it was then, in homage to its remarkable history. We also saw some of our friends from that time, whom we'd lost contact with when we returned to Italy to be reunited with our parents. We'd lost contact partly because the institution was moved to London, partly because it was the wish of our teachers to burn the bridges to the past in order to encourage a return to normal life. The meeting happened, as such things often do, a bit by chance. In 1978, Mama was living in Trieste then, and one night she got a call from a correspondent for an English TV show, This Is Your Life. It was on every week, and each program was devoted to a particular person. The correspondent was calling because the producers were preparing an episode on Alice Goldberger and were looking for children from Lingfield House to interview as witnesses of that experience. They knew only that our name was Bucci and that we lived in Trieste. They found Mama by the simplest method, calling all the Buccis, there were few, in the phone book. Mama gave them our addresses. At the time, Andra was living in Padua and Tati in Brussels. They got in touch with us and asked us to come to London to take part in the broadcast. It aired on the BBC on October 25, 1978. Mama came with us too. Thus we saw many of our friends from Lingfield House, including Miriam, who had gone to live in California. We recognized one another right away, instantly. It was truly an emotional moment. It seemed as if we'd parted the day before, and yet almost 30 years had passed. And Alice Goldberger was also overcome by emotion when suddenly she saw us appear, her children of Lingfield House.